How's it going, guys? So, another fight that's coming up tonight, which I find very interesting, and I have several videos up on already, is this upcoming rematch between WBA super middleweight champion Giovanni De Carolis, and he's rematching Tyron Zeuge, who's an undefeated contender from Germany. Now, when these guys first fought, which was, I believe, was it back in July, something like that? It was sometime earlier this year. The fight was scored a draw. Now, going into the fight, in my prediction video for that fight, I said in my prediction video, I can't pick a winner. The fight is too close. So, in a sense, I kind of predicted it right because the fight was a draw. And, going into this rematch, I have a prediction video up already where I've talked about how I think there's a number of ways that the fight could go, but I'm slightly favouring Tyron Zeuge in the rematch because I just think that he's the younger guy. He has more energy. I think at this stage, and also the fight being in his backyard, I just think that there's a chance he could maybe claw his way to a decision this time. As the fight's gotten closer, I really don't know. It's just one of them fights. It's such a intriguing matchup. I mean, you've got De Carolis, who's a very, very experienced veteran, a guy who's been around for years, who's fought some very good opposition, who has come up short against the best fighters he's fought, but at borderline world level and European level, he's always won. He's always been a very difficult guy to deal with in the ring because he's just so he's so fundamentally sound, and he's also a very, very dedicated athlete. So, he obviously going into the fight, a lot of people will favour him. But Tyron Zeuge, to me, he is much younger, he's much fresher at this stage, and he is going to be very confident going into this rematch because in the first fight, he now knows that he can fight a hard 12-round fight against a borderline world-class opponent and still do a very good job. He knows that now. But going into the first fight, there was a certain amount of uncertainty about Zeuge because he had never been in a hard, grueling 12-round fight before. He'd never fought a elite level opponent before, or anybody even close to that. I mean, the guys he had been fighting were people like Stefan Bozic, for example. Journeyman. Born losers, people like that. He hadn't really fought anybody prior to fighting De Carolis the first time. So going into this rematch, I think that it bodes much better for Zeuge than the first fight did. Now, Zeuge is currently being trained by Jürgen Bremer, and I don't know how good that is for him because obviously, as we know, Jürgen Bremer is still an active fighter. So if you're an active fighter and a trainer at the same time, I don't really know how good that is. I don't know if you'll be able to really dedicate yourself to any particular fighters. So having Jurgen Bremer in the corner, I suppose it's good in terms of, because you've got a guy that's very experienced, who's been around for a long time, and who obviously understands the game. I suppose that is a good thing, but I think that it would benefit him more to get a trainer like, I don't know, someone like Uli Wegner, a trainer who trains a lot of fighters in Germany and who, is more experienced at preparing young fighters for world level fights. So I think that would make a lot more sense for him to get a more established trainer than someone like Jurgen Bremer. So yeah, but I still think even with Jurgen Bremer in the corner, even with his lack of experience, Tyron Zeuge, because like I said, that first fight with De Carolis is the only real legitimate contender he's fought in his career. Even with that, I think that the guy is talented. I think that he's tough, he's durable. He's got fairly decent hand speed. He doesn't really have great power, but he does seem to be quite strong physically. I do think in the first fight he did have the better of a lot of the exchanges inside. I question his stamina, however, because what ultimately cost him the victory in the first fight was that in the last 3 rounds, Zeuge completely ran out of gas, and De Carolis just swept those 3 rounds and just took them by a landslide. And I think that Zeuge going into this fight, hopefully for him, he has improved his stamina because if he hasn't, then he could be in for another very hard night. But I don't know, just going into this fight, to me, Zeuge, it seems as if he has more momentum at the moment because he's the much younger guy. Like I said, he's young, he's fresh. The fight's in his backyard. He's confident now. He took the rematch in a heartbeat. So clearly, him and his team are very confident he can win this rematch. And Yeah, if I had a gun to my head this time telling me to pick a winner, because I can't just sit on the fence like I did last time and just pick a draw, even if it was right last time, because I'm pretty sure that the judges are not going to score it another draw, whatever happens. I'm gonna go with Tyron Zeuge. I'm gonna stick my neck out this time. I'm going to pick Tyron Zeuge by a close and perhaps controversial decision, because I think that the fight is going to be back and forth, and I think it's going to be competitive. So yeah, I'm going to go with Tyron Zeuge by a close decision. Anyway, let me know what you guys think, and thanks for watching.